There's a lot of other videos I'd rather be making right now, but civic duty compels me to put those topics on hold because we have a more pressing matter to discuss. Netflix. Are the executives over there like on acid or something? They market their large variety of content, using it as an excuse to charge 50% more than Disney Plus, but then they go and actively destroy the only reasons I bother subscribing to them. Creative differences drove the original showrunners away from their live-action remake of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Failure to stay true to the source material again led Henry Cavill to drop The Witcher after 3 seasons, effectively ruining their best series. And then, when I didn't think they could stoop any lower, they cancelled Warrior Nun.
Why? Why? Why?
Yeah, I know, I'm late to the party. But trust me, I've been following this since the news broke back in December. Warrior Nun, for those who don't know, is a fantasy drama series based on the comic book of the same name. And you guessed it, it's about warrior nuns. It premiered back in 2020 and starred Portuguese actress Alba Baptista. The story revolves around Ava, an orphan brought back to life by supernatural powers, whose second chance at life leads her to truly appreciate the things that make it worth living. Original, right? But here's the thing about Warrior Nun. Originality is not its appeal. At least, not at first. What initially caught my eye was the absurd combination of Roman Catholicism with the secular nature of Netflix. As someone who grew up in the church, the concept of devoutly Catholic yet also lesbian nuns was too silly not to entertain. So naturally, I went into the show hoping to laugh at this ludicrous amalgamation of conflicting ideals. The crazy thing is, though, that Warrior Nun is unironically entertaining. It leans into its absurdities without ever entirely foregoing reality. Its take on the push and pull relationship between science and religion is excellently integrated into the overall story, and its diverse cast of characters manage to set themselves apart from each other while ensuring we become invested in each of their plights. From my boy Father Vincent's dark past to Ava's struggle to commit to the cause, the first season wins you over as you can't help but find yourself rooting for this ragtag team of young daredevil-esque nuns in their desperate fight against both demons and the church. And it's here, when you finally think you understand exactly what it is you're watching, that Warrior Nun reveals, in my opinion, one of the best twists Netflix has ever produced. I won't spoil it, obviously, but here's the thing. Not only does this twist make perfect sense, but it also paves the way for a redefining of religious truth unique to this series. And in doing so, it sets up an all the more desperate second season, in which our heroes actually have to fight harder than ever before. And it's got a cute ship too, but that's besides the point. Unfortunately though, Warrior Nun's exciting story, filled to the brim with fast-paced action, genuine character development, and the staging of a freaking holy war, was cut short by Netflix despite earning the service's highest ever audience scores. This hasn't stopped fans from fighting for its revival, of course. To this day, the Save Warrior Nun campaign is going strong, advertising on billboards, interacting with cast and crew, and ultimately just finding new ways to continue enjoying this beloved story. As much as I'd like to see Netflix admit to their mistake and revive this series though, I think deep down we all know that day won't come. It's certainly possible some other streaming service could pick it up, but that service won't be Netflix. Why? Because despite all its excellent qualities, Warrior Nun does not possess the mainstaying power of a franchise. The days when all the show needed to do to survive was produce quality content have passed, if they ever existed at all. The only thing that matters to the suits over at Netflix nowadays is the maximization of profit, and the only types of shows that can do that either appeal to a large demographic of people or possess the wide-reaching support of a franchise's fan base. And now that they've lost plenty of their franchise content to Disney Plus, Netflix is desperate to keep up with things like Star Wars, Marvel, and HBO's Game of Thrones. This naturally is why shows like The Witcher Blood Origin exist, and why Warrior Nun no longer does. Season 2 of Shadow and Bone just dropped today, and that's another show I'm fond of. However, I'm now hesitant to give it the light of day, because I'm almost certain that Shadow and Bone will meet the same fate as Warrior Nun. Why take the risk when there are other streaming services with better shows and lower prices? Although I'm not attracted to Pedro Pascal like I find myself being to Jenna Ortega, his shows are far better, even without iconic dance sequences. So if that's all you've got, Netflix, just give up.